Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. This is Moina Bass Fishes. I am Jim Moina, president of Moina Bass Fishes Operations. All right, that's a joke. In this video, I am going to show you how I made my own dice bass fishing lures for the 2024 US Open on Lake Mojave. So let me just tell you why. First of all, let's just tell me why I decided to do that. It goes back to 2023 when I was at Lake Mojave for the US Open that year. My day one partner had some dice. I didn't have any, but he caught all our wave fish on day one, which was like 2 or 3 fish, but it was enough to eventually, I eventually got a low end check in that tournament last year. So, but those are the only dice fish that were caught out of my boat because I didn't have any dice last year, nor did I want to mess with them, okay? Because I did get onto a bait that worked pretty good on the largemouth. It was a little rumble craw made by Billy Rub Baits, and that rumble craw did pretty good on the largemouths, and I had a good second and third day last year to make the money. So now let's fast forward to this year after I sneeze. Holy camoles. So going into this year, I'm like, well, maybe I should have some of those dice on hand when I get to Lake Mojave. So I went on Tackle Warehouse to buy a few things to bring to Lake Mojave, including the dice. And I saw the price of the dice on their website. It was like $17 or $18 for one pack of dice, in which you get 4. You get 4 dice in one pack for like 17, 18 bucks. And I'm like, that's just ridiculous. I can't be going through. I mean, and so in my mind, I'm thinking, well, 4 dice are probably going to last. I'm probably going to have to use 2 packs. If I really get on them with these dice, I'm probably going to have to use 2 packs a day, which is like $35 a day of soft plastics, which I'm like, well, that ain't no good. But anyways, so I go to Lake Mojave, start practice, and I only have this one pack. This is the pack I bought. So as you can see, there's 3 left. There's 3 left, and if you have never seen the dice, this is what we're talking about with these dice baits. The soft plastic is basically a cube, and then you have these strands of silicone or rubber that are run through them. So I had this one pack of 4. And I never started using the dice until maybe my second or third day of practice out of 5 days of practice I had. And with the first fish I caught on the dice, I lost the dice right away. So now I'm like, what is this, 1 fish per dice or whatever? So then and that was a skin hook. That was one where I barely skin hooked it. So then I started hooking it really just right through the center, the meaty part of it. With my next dice here, and I started catching a few more fish, and I wasn't losing the dice because the bait was just threaded right through the center of the meat of this thing. So at the end of that day, I got to thinking, when I got back to my hotel, I'm like, I only got 3 more of these things. I don't want to have to like one day rush an order of these things in off a Tackle Warehouse, because you got you got overnight delivery through Tackle Warehouse, 2-night delivery, or just regular delivery, whatever. But I do remember that at this particular hotel casino I was at last year, I remember I tried to have something delivered and it never showed up. So I'm like, that's just not. For those 2 reasons, the past history of something not showing up at that hotel, and also the fact that these cost so damn much, I decided, you know what, it can't be that hard to make these things. So I bring a lot of extra fishing products with me as spare products. So I decided to make my own dice. And the only thing, I had everything I needed except a needle. So I went to a Family Dollar store, and found this in there. So I'm sure you could go to any, you know where to go to get this kind of stuff. And they had all kinds of good size. These are like bigger needles, so all kinds of good sized ones in here. And I ended up, oh, look at that, they're even labeled. There's like a couple curved ones in here, and then there's one that says upholstery needle, sail needle. Sail, like for sailboating? I don't know. I never noticed this wording on here till now. Carpet needle, packing needle, glove needle, curved mattress needle, whatever. The one I ended up with was the one in the very center, which seemed to have an adequate size, the adequate size eye right there, where I could fit one of these strands through there. Anyhow, so I bought that, and then I had all the rest of the components. The thing that so what you need is the skirt components like this. So, and here's all the dice I made, okay? I made probably like, I don't know, this is like 24 dice, maybe 24 dice or so. That's what I ended up making. And I basically used one base color. But then I used a couple different shades of strands, some lighter brown ones, some darker green pumpkin ones, and so on. So to compare, so let's just compare. So this is what I ended up with. So you can see the plastic's about the same size, and the strands are about the same size and thickness. And I tried a couple, and what I ended up doing is cutting up just some creature baits to get these base centerpieces. They're not cubes, no. But look at this one. This one's kind of cool. Look at that. You got ribs on this one. Okay, so I thought that was pretty cool. So this was the bait that I ended up dicing up. This is a Billy Rub's Snatcher, it's called. It's a creature bait. It looks like this. It's a good flipping bait for lily pads and vegetation and that. But it was like my best option, I felt, for what I had with me. I had a few other chunky plastic baits, but this was my chunkiest and best option, I thought. So I had that, and then I had a bunch of skirt material. This stuff you can buy. You can buy this. There's like do-it-yourself lure building people, so you can buy from there. This stuff is from Skirts Plus. It's called Skirts Plus. They may have a website. Skirts Plus, I don't know. Check it out. Skirts Plus. Skirts Plus sells to a lot of jig manufacturers and that. And I know they used to sell some stuff retail wise. I don't know if they still do, but Skirts Plus. And yeah, so here's just another, here's a little bit bigger one. So you get a little bit bigger piece when you pull out the center of this thing. You get a little bit bigger piece. So I got 4 dice out of one of these, okay? And I'll just show you how I went about making them. And first of all, you're going to need 12 strands, okay? Because let's just look at the original dice. So what you end up having is, as you can see, there's 4 strands coming out of each face of the cube. Okay? There's 4 strands coming out of each face of this cube. Oops. So that means I want strands going through this way, through that way, and through that way. 4 times 3 is 12. So you need 12 strands. So, and it just so happens the proper length is 1/2 of one of these, I don't know what you call this. This is just the raw skirt material. So it's 1/2 of that. So to do that, basically what I do is I just fold that over like that. And then you get this loop like this. So then I press down on it like that, cut. Now those are all the proper length, except that you do have to cut off. They're all, they're all stuck together at the end there. So that does got to be cut off. So cut that part off. Okay, now we have all these are, so now we got all these strands here. So now it's just a matter of counting them out. So I have 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dang it. Not starting over. So here we are. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so there's all my strands. Now I got to cut this down to size. So first thing I do is I remove these appendages. So now I'm left with just this chunk. And now I'm going to cut this up into 4 sections. One, 2. Then I actually I left the center rib out of it. So that is the very center rib because there was an odd number of ribs. So that was left out. But now, okay, these things bounced all over the place. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I got 4 of these, 2 smaller ones and 2 slightly bigger ones. Okay. So, and obviously you can make these whatever size you want. So now it becomes the tedious process of running the strands through, and it is a tedious process. So you take your needle, and this is where the size of that hole is key. So you take your needle, thread it through there, and what you want to do is just thread it about that much. I mean, this is what I discovered. Thread it through about that much. Then you got to put 4 of them in through each side. And it gets to be tedious work. Pull it through, and there. So there's 1 strand in. So then I pull it together to even it out like that. And now it's 11 more to go. So these aren't cubes, so because these creature sections aren't really cubes, you got to kind of imagine it being a cube when you thread this in there. So now I will run another one parallel to that one, just a little higher. And obviously these aren't going to look as perfect as those ones you buy in the store. That's for sure. Okay. All right. So that's 2 on there. And then you just keep going. So, and I try to imagine I'm working on one side of the face of the cube all at once. So now I try to go like on the run it. I run two more parallel. So there's the next one. Even it out. So now I just have one more to run parallel to this one and these other two, and that'll be it for that face of the cube, basically. And then I gotta go through, like, imagine like going through another side of the cube. Okay. So there's that. Now let's go. Boom. And I'm actually going a little faster than I was in the hotel room, because in the hotel room I was being so particular, making sure everything was just the way I wanted it. All right, so now I got 4 in there. Okay. So now we're gonna lay 2 more. Well, let's use this needle. So imagine this needle as being more of these chartreuse strands. So now I'm gonna lay 2 more. That'll be like here. Then 2 more like here. That'll be perpendicular to what I got in there. Okay. So thread that through the needle. And here we go. And you find that these strands stay in place really good. Through fish catches and everything. Okay, so there's 1. So it's basically meant to be perpendicular. So we got 3 more. They're going to be with that one. Okay, thread that like that. Okay, well now where was I? Here we go. Next one goes here. Okay, so now we got 2 across there. So now I got to flip this over 180 degrees. And all right, what did I do it wrong? Did I put 1 in the wrong place? Did I put wrong? I might have just done 1 in the wrong place in my haste to do this. Yeah, because I got 2 across there. But that should be the one that's that's the one that's perpendicular there. Huh? What the heck? This is really weird. See, it looks like I ran... Nope, that one goes across. So now I'm just pulling on 1. See, I think I ran 2... Nope, that's supposed to be one that goes... Yeah, I don't need another one like that. No, I do get 2. I do have 2. I did that last one went in the wrong place. Dang it. All right, so I'm pulling it out. Even this stuff up again. Okay, yeah. Oops. All right, so where I went wrong is I put it like right in the same place as one of the other ones. So somehow I got it turned around. But I pulled it out. Now let's run this back in. Let's make sure we do it right this time. Honest to goodness, it's not that hard. right across this way. And it's tedious work, and that's the reality of doing this. Is you kind of, after you get some in there, you realize, okay, where's the next one supposed to go? And it's tedious work. So as you can see, you probably get 4 or 5 of these done in an hour. So it's not like you're gonna sit down and make like 30 of them in one night. That ain't gonna happen. See, now when I keep setting this down, I'm completely losing track of where I'm at with this and which ones are supposed to be going in where next. So I got those 2 in. Oh my gosh. Those two. Okay, yeah. So I got to put 2 in across like this. So my suggestion, one thing I probably don't want to be setting this down. I probably want to just keep holding it in position, because now I know exactly where the next one goes, but I do got to set it down. But I will keep track visually of where that is oriented, so now I can just pick it up and know right where this one's supposed to go. Indeed, if it was a pure cube, it would be way more obvious, but with these rounded ones, not quite as obvious, but it's not that big a deal. Okay, got that one threaded. And now my next one's gonna go right through here. Okay. So now I just have 4 more to go in, and those 4 will go into this. This is the easiest one to do because I got this flat side. So then I just imagine, the 4 dots on a dice. Just imagine that, and basically they go like, they'll go right like this. Like the first one, I'll basically try to intersect the other ones. Like, can you see that? See how that is? So one will be there. Another one will go like right through about, okay, that one's there. So the next one will probably go right about there, and then there, and then over that, right where the end of that strand is there. So just try to imagine like the 4 dots on a regular dice, basically. That's what it comes down to. And this will be these last ones are easy because it's just the way everything's situated. So through there, boom. Like that. See, there's that one. And 3 more just like it. Threading the needle can be the hardest part of the whole thing. And this, there, so now you can see I got 2 strands in there, so I got 2 more to go. One and 2. I don't know what it is that these bass think they're biting when they bite this, but they bite it. That's all I know. Well, they mainly bit it in the morning when I was there, because it was For whatever reason, the afternoon bite got a little tougher. All right, so there you can see my 4 of them coming through this side and going through the opposite side. So there it is. There's a dice bait, and we'll compare it to the original. Okay. There we are. And like I said, so this is the bigger chunk. These little pieces, I got smaller pieces, and you can make whatever. I mean, let your imagination run wild, really. I also got. Now I just got these since I got back from Mojave. Bill from Billy Rub Baits. These are like remnants from his pours. When he pours in his molds, like other baits and stuff, you end up with this. This is like the channel where the plastic flows through before it gets into the molded, creature, the molded worm or whatever. So, but man, look at that. You can just make perfect cubes out of this stuff. I mean, check that out. And it's like the same. It's almost as if these original dice were made the same out of those channels. So they're very similar in size. Well, it depends how I cut it, but similar size, right? So I'll be doing some of that, using some of this stuff. But using like a creature bait with ribs in that, you get that rib look too. I don't know if that's gonna matter to a fish or not. Who knows? Only the fish know. All right. Well, as you can see, there's one. Like I said, I can do about 4 or 5 of these in an hour. Maybe if you get good with it, you can do more. And then when you come to hook it on your hook, if you just go right through, where's that needle? I mean, let's pretend this is my hook point, this needle. If you go right through the center like that and thread it on your hook like that, you're not going to use very many of these. You're going to catch several fish on each one of these. However, what I discovered was you sacrifice your hooking of the fish when you do that. And that was a big problem at Lake Mojave. The first day went okay. I had 10 bites, put 9 fish in the boat. I reeled one for about 6 seconds and he came off. But then the next day, I had 10 bites again. I think I had 10 bites every day. I had 10 bites again, and only 5 got in the boat. And like out of the other 5 that got away, several of those I reeled them for 2 of them I reeled to literally 3 feet under the boat. We were just about to net them, and they came off. And then the last day, the same problem. We put 6 in the boat and had 4 get away. And the ones that got away were all right away. And so then I started hooking it. Let's pretend this needle's the hook. I would go right through the very edge of it like that. So then most of the hook and most of the gap would be exposed. And that seemed to do better. I've had and I even thought of this after day 2. I thought, maybe what if I use a treble hook instead? And I actually sat down the night before the last day of competition. It's a 3-day competition. I sat down in my boat in the parking lot and played with different treble hooks and looked at the different hooking methods I could do with a treble hook. But I never did do it. But there were some guys commented on one of my Lake Mojave final report video. They suggested maybe doing a treble hook, or then there's some guys suggesting using one of those hitchhiker things. So maybe that's something I got to look into as well. But just know, so in practice, you could probably hook it right through the meat of it. But in the tournament, maybe not so much. You need to leave some hook gap exposed. And you are going to use more of these baits doing it. You're going to lose more of them doing it that way. But, if you want to get your fish in the boat, that's what's got to be done. All right, so that's it for this video. As you can see, it's, these aren't going to be perfect. they look pretty good. I mean, they're not as precisely threaded as what you buy, but I don't think the fish really is going to care about that. So, and plus you can experiment with your own colors. You can, whatever colors you want. And of course, the skirt material comes in a wide variety of colors. The plastics come in whatever colors you want. So there you have it. That's my tutorial on how to make your own dice. I've only used these in one tournament, so I don't know a whole lot to say about their application. But I'm sure that's something we'll learn in the near future. So thanks for watching this video. Over and out.